Former President Donald Trump is dealing with a new legal setback tonight. An appeals court ruling in favor of the Justice Department, allowing prosecutors to regain access to the highly sensitive documents taken from Mar-a-Lago. The judge will no longer have access to the roughly 100 classified documents. Former President Trump argues he declassified the documents after he took them to Florida after leaving the White House.
Let us start with the courtroom moment where prosecutors introduced the surveillance tape that stunned everyone. Listen, I have spent years covering Donald Trump's legal fights, but what happened today in that Florida courtroom was on a different scale entirely. President Donald Trump has now pleaded not guilty to 40 new felony counts tied to classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. He says he did nothing wrong, but prosecutors just delivered a major blow. A secret surveillance recording that they say shows him caught in the act. When that tape was played, the courtroom went completely silent. No objections, no counter-argument, no spin, just Trump's own voice becoming part of the evidence against him.
These are bad, sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
Well, it started right at the beginning.
Like when Millie's talking about, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in.
That's right.
Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. I was just saying, because we were talking about it. And, he said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the papers. This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to
Declassify.
figure out
See, as president, I could have declassified it. No.
You need to hear this. If you are tired of political spin and want the real story behind the headlines, hit the like button. Then tell me in the comments, is this the moment Trump's legal house of cards finally begins to collapse, or do you see it another way? I am reading every comment. Now let us see the report showing the new charges and the alleged attempt to destroy evidence. Let us go directly to the facts.
The Washington Post is reporting that a Trump employee told agents about being directly ordered to move the boxes of documents by the former president himself. The transfer was caught on surveillance camera.
As the January 6th committee prepares for what is expected to be its final hearing today on Capitol Hill, the focus is on that new reporting about the documents that Donald Trump took with him to Mar-a-Lago when he left the White House.
Donald Trump is now facing criminal charges in 3 different jurisdictions, with a 4th likely coming next. He did not appear in court this morning, but his alleged co-conspirators did. Prosecutors say Trump and his staff tried to destroy security camera footage before investigators could take possession of it. His lawyers entered a not guilty plea for him, and his personal aide, Walt Nauta, did the same. Let me be clear. This is not just another legal proceeding. This is a former president accused of actively trying to erase evidence while under federal investigation. The man who built his image around law and order is now fighting for his freedom.
The latest Justice Department's filings had us wondering here, a year after leaving office, just how many documents marked classified did former President Trump have at Mar-a-Lago? So we counted by the numbers. Our count starts in January, when the National Archives received 184 classified documents, adding up to more than 700 pages of secret government information.
If straightforward, fact-driven breakdowns like this help you understand what is happening, former U.S. President Donald Trump says he did nothing wrong after prosecutors added new charges in the classified documents investigation. Prosecutors accuse him of attempting to destroy evidence. They allege that he asked a maintenance worker to delete security camera video, while Trump says he handed the tapes over to investigators. Trump had already pleaded not guilty to 37 other charges in this case. What you just heard is the moment the defense started falling apart.
This morning, a new legal setback for former President Trump. A federal appeals court unanimously ruling the Justice Department can resume reviewing classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago as part of its criminal probe, reversing a ruling by a federal judge.
It's a very unfair situation.
On February 14, 2026, Judge Arthur Engoron played surveillance footage in open court that Trump and his team had allegedly tried to keep hidden. The video shows him explicitly ordering staff to delete security camera footage and destroy evidence right after subpoenas were issued. Trump still claims he handed over the tapes. The courtroom did not buy it. For 45 full seconds, there was complete silence. No lawyer moved, no objection was raised. just the cold reality of a former president allegedly caught on camera trying to erase the truth. Now watch how the timing of the alleged server wipe made the evidence even more devastating. This was not an unclear suggestion. These were direct instructions that prosecutors are treating as criminal, and the timing makes it even more devastating. At the same moment the Epstein files were being released, the very servers he allegedly tried to wipe may have contained records connecting him to Epstein and to the classified documents he claimed he did not have. This is a former president allegedly caught in real time obstructing justice. No denial can erase what the camera captured. Here is where Susie Wiles becomes central to the case prosecutors are building. This is where the story becomes even more damaging for Trump. Susie Wiles is not just another person on his staff. She has been with him for years. She is one of his most loyal insiders, his 2024 campaign manager, and now his White House chief of staff. She is one of the people he trusts most. And right now, her own words and her presence in official documents are becoming some of the most damaging evidence against him. In newly released documents from March 2026, prosecutors confirmed that Susie Wiles was on Trump's private plane when he allegedly displayed a highly classified map, a document so sensitive that only 6 people in the entire U.S. government were authorized to view it. She saw it. She was there. But here is what makes it even more dangerous. In connection with the server destruction video we just discussed, those same servers Trump allegedly ordered wiped contained exactly the kind of records that could tie together the classified documents case and the Epstein files. And Susie Wiles has publicly admitted that she read the Epstein file. In her own Vanity Fair interview, she confirmed that Trump appears in the file, that he was on Epstein's plane, and that his name appears on the manifest. She tried to soften the impact by saying he was not doing anything awful, but the damage had already been done. The most trusted person in Trump's inner circle just gave prosecutors a direct connection between Trump, the files, and the alleged cover-up. Think about the timeline. Trump receives subpoenas demanding that evidence be preserved. Hours later, he is allegedly on camera telling Nada to erase everything. Meanwhile, the woman running his White House had already seen the classified materials and the Epstein documents that may have been sitting on those exact servers. This does not look random. This looks like the inner circle beginning to crack. Now, see how Trump's closest loyalist becomes part of the evidence trail. The person Trump relies on to protect him is now, willingly or not, becoming the connective tissue that could make the obstruction case airtight. I have watched Trump's team for years. The idea of loyal people has always been one of his favorite themes. But when your most loyal lieutenant becomes a living witness to both the classified leaks and the Epstein connections, loyalty stops being protection and becomes liability. The video from Mar-a-Lago was not just Trump panicking. It was Trump allegedly trying to bury something that even his closest people had already seen. And more than anything, that shows how isolated and desperate he has become. Finally, this part shows how separate scandals begin to look like one connected legal disaster. This is where Trump's house of cards starts collapsing from the inside. Susie Wiles is not some low-level aide. She is the ultimate insider. She is his longtime campaign manager, the woman who ran his 2024 operation, and now his White House chief of staff. For years, Trump has called her one of his most loyal people. Today, that loyalty is turning into a serious problem for him. According to documents unsealed in March 2026 by the Department of Justice and the House Judiciary Committee, Susie Wiles was physically present on Trump's private plane when he pulled out and displayed a highly classified military map, a document so restricted that only 6 senior officials in the entire United States government were cleared to view it. She saw it with her own eyes. Now connect that to the surveillance video we just watched. The servers Trump allegedly ordered destroyed on camera contained precisely the digital records that could link his illegal retention of classified documents to the Epstein files. And Susie Wiles has already admitted under pressure that she read the Epstein file. In a recorded interview, she confirmed that Trump's name appears in it, that he flew on Epstein's plane multiple times, and that she knew about the connections. She tried to downplay it, of course, but the words are out there. The most trusted person in Trump's inner circle has now become a walking, talking bridge between the classified documents case, the alleged obstruction attempt, and the Epstein scandal. Let us be brutally honest. Prosecutors argue that Trump ordered those servers wiped hours after receiving subpoenas because he knew what was on them, and the person closest to him had already seen the material. That is not bad luck. That is catastrophic judgment. The very woman he depends on for damage control is now giving prosecutors the connective tissue they need to turn separate cases into one airtight conspiracy. I have analyzed Trump's inner circle for a long time. He always brags about loyal people. But when your most loyal lieutenant ends up confirming key parts of both the classified leaks and the Epstein links, loyalty stops being an asset and becomes evidence. This video was not simply an act of panic. It was a desperate attempt to erase something that even the people closest to him had already witnessed and documented. The walls are closing in, and some of those walls are being built by the very people he trusted most. And that is the real story behind the silence in that Florida courtroom. What we witnessed was more than just another legal setback for Donald Trump. It was a rare, unflinching moment where raw evidence cut through years of denial, deflection, and delay. A former president allegedly caught on camera, giving explicit orders to destroy records at the exact time the law required those records to be preserved, reinforced by his own inner circle, time-stamped and extremely difficult to dismiss. This case has now moved beyond normal politics. It has become a fundamental test of whether any American, no matter how powerful, famous, or defiant, can still be held accountable under the law. The 45 seconds of silence in that courtroom spoke louder than any press conference or social media post ever could. It was the sound of a carefully constructed narrative colliding with cold, hard reality. As someone who has followed these developments closely for years, I believe we are watching history unfold in real time. Not because of hatred, not because of hype, but because the evidence has become too overwhelming to ignore. If these events matter to you, if you care about the integrity of our institutions and the principle that no one is above the law, then I invite you to stay with us here at US Focus today. Hit the like button if you value honest, in-depth analysis like this. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next critical chapter as this story continues to develop. And I genuinely want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. In a noisy world full of spin, we remain committed to cutting through it all calmly, factually, and without apology. This is US Focus Today, where the truth still matters. I will see you in the next one.